Welcome back to 316 Exposure. Always controversial, sometimes uncomfortable, but always honest. Please remember to hit the like button and subscribe. We are a new channel and need your support. If you want instant notifications, ring the bell in the top right-hand corner of your screen.
There comes a time when the general defilement of a society becomes so great that the rising generation is put under undue pressure and cannot be said to have a fair choice between the way of light and the way of darkness. We live in a wicked world. Never in our memory have the forces of evil been arrayed in such deadly formation. The devil is well organized, and never in our day has he had so many emissaries working for him. Through his many agents, his satanic majesty has proclaimed his intentions to destroy one whole generation of our young people. Music creates atmosphere. Atmosphere creates environment. Environment influences behavior. The whole psychedelic design is a swinging door to drugs, sex, rebellion, and godlessness. Combined with the screaming obscenities of the lyrics, this mesmerizing music has borne the fruit of filth.
Oh yes, and music is a whole another area that employs these techniques. Popular music, all popular culture, movies, TV, music, they carry messages, and it's not just entertainment. Entertainment is not value-free. It has ideological content. It presents a worldview that influences the people who are watching or listening. So we've got this disconnect, thinking that entertainment is harmless when it's the most important delivery system of propaganda, because it influences people without their conscious awareness, and that's the ultimate in controlling people in society, is to do it without them being aware of it.
Music touches the limbic system, or the emotional system of our brain, which actually, though slower than other parts, can overwhelm all of the other parts. Think about how we lose our mind when we fall in love. And we literally do, because of the power of the emotion. That being said, the music system has been very unresponsive even to industry applied ratings. All that they had been willing to do was to put parental advisory on the outside of CDs. They would not print lyrics in a visible place. This is complicated by the fact that the Federal Communication Commission has strict limits on what can be broadcast over the air. And historically, the way popular music has been sold is through airplay. We can't expect a system to be put together that will perfectly protect us. We need to protect ourselves. We need to be aware that these media change us and affect us. And we need to actively understand what they're doing, how they're doing, and make choices of whether we want that to be done to us.
.5 hours per day for teenagers in the United States listen to music. 2.5 hours. 1 in 3 popular songs contain explicit references. The number of times an adolescent is exposed to explicit substance references, 35 times per hour. They're listening 2.5 hours per day, 35 per hour. 84 times a day, that's 591 times per week. Being told about alcohol, drugs, sex, murder in these lyrics. That's 30,700 times per year. Pop 13%, rock 15%, R&B and hip hop 39%, rap 88%, and we've got all of our kids listening to this rap.
Yeah, I believe in the Illuminati. There is a certain level that you get at that you can't go no further unless you're aware of certain things. And I'll leave it at that. You know what I'm saying? There's a certain level that you get to, that there's a door that you have to walk. And it's on you to walk through that door. once you walk through that door, it's no coming.
If your ultimate goal is to be famous, then you're gonna do a lot to get there. Like sign your name in blood in a contract with the devil. Like you're gonna end up on a one-way street and it's going nowhere. Like that's just the truth. I've seen so many people like forsake their moral code and their value systems just for a little bit of fame, and it's not worth it at the end of the day. It's really not worth it.
I swear to Lucifer. I swear to Lucifer.
We're seeing a society that not only has a lot more people of lower IQ, but a lot fewer people of higher IQ. In other words, a dumbing down, a chemical dumbing down of society. So everyone's sort of mediocre. That leaves them dependent on government because they can't excel. We have these people of lower IQ who are totally dependent. Then we have this mass of people who are going to believe anything they're told because they can't really think clearly. And very few people of very high IQ who have good cognitive function who can figure this all out. And that's what they want. So, you can kind of piece it together as to why they are so insistent in spending so many hundreds of millions of dollars of propaganda money to dumb down society.
Have you ever wondered why music artists use strange symbols and gestures in their music videos and concerts? If you have not, then you're not alone. Most of the people fail to see the deeper connection between these artists and the satanic or cult groups. One cannot but ask himself these questions. What are these symbols that reoccur everywhere in the entertainment business? And why are these symbols being used by artists over and over again? Where do these symbols come from, and what is the meaning behind these symbols? If you don't have an answer to these questions, then you have a right to ask. If you analyze Satanism, you will come to the conclusion that it's very prevalent in today's music industry. Satanism, or black magic, is based on the worship of Satan and neglecting the worship of God. Satanism reached its peak in Egypt at the time of the pharaohs. This is why a lot of the symbolism can be traced back to this civilization. You will see a lot of Egyptian symbolism in the music industry today. Here's an example of the owl the Egyptians used. It probably looks familiar to you. Yes, this is the same owl used by rap artist Drake. Drake can also be seen gesturing the 666 symbol. Each finger represents the number 6, making it the sign of the devil with one eye. Here's the same owl at a satanic ceremony called the Bohemian Grove. And here you see rap artist Azealia Banks with the one eye and the owls. This is an ancient 30th dynasty Egyptian falcon. And we see the same bird tattooed on the singer Rihanna. And this is Aleister Crowley dressed as an Egyptian pharaoh. He is considered as the most notorious satanic magician of the 20th century. He identifies himself as a prophet entrusted with guiding humanity into the age of Horus in the early 20th century. Yet again, Horus is an Egyptian god. Here you see rap artist Jay-Z wearing a quote, "Do what thou wilt," which comes from the philosophy of Telema, which was developed by Aleister Crowley. This religion includes a number of deities primarily adapted from ancient Egypt. Again, you can clearly see these links between these artists and Satanism. But still, people pay no heed and continue as if they have not seen or even been warned. Assassin's Creed is a video game series which primarily revolves around the rivalry between two ancient secret societies, the Assassins and the Knights of Templar. They're in direct relation to an ancient species predating humanity, referred to within the games as those who came before. We know before God created humans, he created Satan. The release of this video game is called the Assassin's Creed Origins, and it's about how these secret societies started, and you guessed it, it's in Egypt.
Sisters and brothers of Baphomet.
See, it just repeats, but this is a satanic blood ritual that's going on.
Gratitude to you, Jeanne, for your bravery. I yield this, my body, For the good of my sisters and brothers in Baphomet. We
and
honor your sacrifice.
and for being a Christian, this is something that I'm not comfortable doing. I just feel extremely vulnerable to something that you can't close.
I want to represent possibilities. I want to represent the idea that you really can make what you want. One of my favorite books is the Alchemist, Paulo Coelho, and I just believe that. I believe that I can create whatever I want to create. If I can put my head on it right, study it, learn the patterns.
In this clip, we hear the actor Will Smith talk about the book The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. When we look at the cover of this book, we can see it again, the link to the Egyptian civilization. Will also talks about that he can create anything he wants. This is a satanic philosophy because only God has the authority to create whatever he wants. Do what thou wilt is that Satan wants you to go and do whatever your desires tell you and neglect the worship of God and your Savior. Alchemy is a seemingly magical process of transformation, creation, or combination. It's a process of black magic, to be more precise. If we look up the symbols used in alchemy, we can see some of the familiar images, actually very similar to the references we have been discussing. And here we see another symbol used in alchemy. Now look at the album cover of rapper Lupe Fiasco. Are these people artists or are these people magicians? Anton LaVey was an American ecologist and was labeled by many as the father of Satanism. He was the founder of the Church of Satan and the religion of the LaVeyan Satanism. He authored several books including the Satanic Bible, the Satanic Rituals, and the Satanic Witch. Here you can see him do the satanic hand sign. By now it should be very familiar to you. The hand sign is very prevalent in the music industry. This is not, to me, a coincidence. I mean, the devil is hiding in plain sight. Here you can see the rap artist ASAP Rocky on a satanic pentagram. Why do we keep on seeing these links to Satanism? This is not a one-time occurrence. It keeps happening over and over again. It is now up to us to draw our own educated conclusions. Here is singer Beyonce with a demonic Baphomet ring. This performance symbol is widely used in Satanism. If these artists have nothing to do with Satanism, then why do they keep on associating themselves with satanic symbolism? But there still remains one question unanswered. Why do all these artists worship the devil? What do they get in return? These artists perform satanic rituals to please their handlers or demons, whichever you prefer, all of which are a false creation of God. Handlers come in many forms. There are actually handlers handling handlers. Take, for instance, the media. Why is there so much satanic messaging in television and movies? This superhero movie, for instance, is rated 15 in the UK with an R rating in the US. As you can see, there is about 90 F words, but then you see it says God's name is misused more than a dozen times, 3 with the word damn. Jesus' name is abused 10 or so more times. I found that very interesting because clearly Satan loves to attack the name of Jesus. I mean, why isn't it so common for people to say what the Buddha or abuse the name of Allah? Why do they attack Jesus' name? Clearly it connects him, Jesus, with God by the use of the capital G. Jesus' name is abused 10 or so more times, so much that it's considered profanity according to IMDb.
Satan represents the powers of force in nature, and we feel that a cleansing of the idiot ideology of the pallid, incompetent Christ is in order. And so this is something that the Church of Satan is conducting on many different avenues. We're doing this through the use of what we have called aesthetic terrorism. This involves the creative use of art, music, writing, effectively what we call propaganda, the dissemination of information to influence what we call iron youth.
As Adolf Hitler said, we seek to bring about a youth that has closed its heart to pity. All of the humanist values that Judeo-Christianity has encouraged we want to wipe them out. It's led to democracy, social humanism, the idea of equality. All of this filth has to be wiped out if the human race is going to continue to take the next step in evolution.
What do you believe that would be like if you were in control, as far as your attitudes towards your own people?
Well, we are in control because basically we are not a political organization, we are an occult organization. We're working behind the scenes to manipulate the way that people think. The war that we are waging is a guerrilla war on the human mind. And we use musical frequencies, the dominant frequency, which I've referred to before, and symbolism and imagery to awaken dormant aspects of the human mind.
Here you see the popular singer The Weeknd subliminally flashes Satan at his concert goers. The Weeknd is also the main feature on the soundtrack 50 Shades of Grey. Satan wants our children's hearts. He wants to mess with their minds, deter their dreams, and takes their hopes hostage. Satan has become wiser. In addition to killing marriages, inflicting addiction, and attacking our youth, he is now coming after the innocence of our smaller children. This video has had 669,782,786 views. I want you to pay attention to the water guns, ice cream, candy, and all the children's imagery. This is by no mistake. You can see very similar references in a lot of hip-hop videos that are out today. Keep in mind, there's no parental warning on this video, no 18 and over, no restrictions, nothing.
Treyway, King of New York, looking for the queen.
You got the right one. Let these oh nigga. Queens, Brooklyn.
Got that wet, got that drip, got that super soak. I hit that, she a Fifi, honey, Kiki, she eat my like it's free. I don't even know like why I did that. I don't even know like why I hit that. All I know is that I just can't wipe that. Talk to her nice so she won't fight back. Turn around, hit it from the back. Bet her down, then I make it clap. I don't really want no friends. I don't really want no friends, no. Draco got that kickback when I blow that. They all do track, they don't shoot back. One shot, close range, red down, head tie. Yeah, I did that, yeah, I lived that. Call a Uber with my shooter, with a Ruger. We gon' do your niggas say they killing people, but I really can do it. I don't really want no friends. I don't really want no friends, no.
He tryna 69 like Takashi, call him Papi, worth the ASAP, keep me rocky. I'm from New York, so I'm cocky. Say he with my posse, caught me Chloe like Kardashian. Keep this in Versace, said I'm pretty like Tanashi.
Put it all up in his face. Did I catch a cat?
The gang just caught a body, but I never leave a trace. Face is pretty days. I get chips, I ask for lace. I just sit back and when he done, I be like, yo, how to taste? Yo, how to taste?
I don't really want no friends. I don't really want no friends.
Hey yo, Draco got that kickback. When they kick back, you can't get your back. In fact, it's that I hate small talk. I don't chit chat. AC just stopped working, so they hit me, told me bring my wrist back. Come through rockin' fashions that got all these like yo, what's that?
I don't really want no friends.
I don't really want no friends, no.
Eeny, meeny, money, mo. I catch a hoe right by her toe. If she ain't me and Nikki, kick that hoe right through the door. I don't really want no friends. My old hoe just bought this Benz. Nikki just hopped in. Now I won't see that again. Eeny, meeny, money, mo. I catch a hoe right by her toe. If she give me and Nikki, kick that hoe right through the door.
Young money, young money bunny. Colorful hair, don't care.
I don't really want no friends.
I don't really want no friends, no.
I don't really want no friends.
I don't really want no friends, no.
Music is one of the most cultural forming tools that exist. At one time, music and artists like the Beatles, Pink Floyd, Bob Dylan stood for something. Whether you agree with it or not, their music had a message, and they spoke out against things like corruption and wanted to make a positive impact in the world. Where are all the role models? Where have they gone? With the recent Me Too campaign exposing pedophilia rings in the film industry and the rise of popularity of new genres of music like mumble rap, glamorizing rape and murder, we desperately need a revolution in music, or else our youth is simply in grave danger. As I said, Satan wants our children's hearts. He wants to mess with their minds, deter their dreams, and take their hopes hostage. A child's mind is probably Satan's easiest tactic. After all, he doesn't have to do much to get your children to think like the world. All your children have to do is listen to music, switch on the television, or surf the internet, and they're bombarded with the message that they are their own God and nothing matters in life but self-satisfaction. Every day your child makes a choice, and when it's not a good one, Satan will try to heap guilt, remorse, and I give up attitude within your child's heart. That's why it's important for you to be there extending grace when your children are dealing with the consequences of bad choices. It simply is a way of showing them that God's grace is always available in the form of second, third, and a millionth chances to try again. Remember, your best strategy to defeat Satan is not through endless conversations with your child about priorities, morality, and honoring God. Instead, have endless conversations with God about your child's priority, morality, and choices to honor God. There will come a time, especially when Satan's on the attack, that it's far more effective to talk to God about your child than talk to your child about God. Believe me, I've learned this over many years. And ladies and gentlemen, that's my take. Thank you for listening. Please remember to like and subscribe. We really need your support. Until next time, Patriots, God bless.